mad scientist of everything wrestling and hip-hop here with this video going to be my copper drop for September. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a long video. I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time. There's a lot of stuff here I got to talk about. I'm going to try to run through some of it as quick as possible. If you see me over here grabbing a water bottle, it's because I'm talking way too much, but I wanted to get this in here. There's some stuff from months past in here as well, so instead of talking about it, let's be about it. Here we go. Starting off with the drops, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start off with Bugs Bogetts, or Bugs Bogetts, I think that's how you say his name, the cool mixtape. I believe it stands for Creating Our Own Lane, is what it is. This guy's okay, you know, I've heard him on a couple features from other, other guys. Mostly party type bangers style, music. It just didn't hit home with me. It wasn't really anything special. It was just kind of just there to be there. It had a couple of okay tracks on it, but it was a free mixtape. Other than that, nothing special. Next we got Hell Rel, Not Guilty. I'm actually a huge fan of the Diplomat family. I was a really big fan of the Diplomats back in the mid-2000s, and I liked Hell Rel. He was one of my favorite guys in the group. This is not bad. There's like maybe 1 or 2 tracks on here I cared about, but overall it was nothing special, just like the last mixtape I talked about. But just okay, I guess. Next we got Beanie Sigel. This time, I don't know what it is with Beanie Sigel this year. Anything I've heard from him, like a mixtape, any of his mixtapes or anything I've heard this year, I haven't cared for. And I think what it is it's not Beanie Sigel himself, it's his production. I really can't stand the production that he uses. To me, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know what it is, but just didn't care for this. Production just was not on point with me. Next we got Haitian Fresh, Money, Power, and Respect. Heard Haitian Fresh on a couple of different people's albums, mixtapes, different things. Just a G.O.O.D, Gucci kind of guy, Waka Flocka type guy. There really wasn't maybe 2 tracks on here. It was a really long mixtape. It had like almost 30 tracks on it, and I was just way too long, and I just was almost bored with it by the time I got to it, but it is what it is there. Next we got Kurt Cobain's Procrastination Kills 4. This was okay. I'm not really a huge Kurt Cobain's fan, but there was like 1 track on here I really did like, and it's made some rotation on my iPod. But other than that, overall, it almost sounds like Kurt Cobain's is kind of jumping into that Drake lane. He's doing a lot of singing. I think he says even on one of the tracks in this that people ask him why he's singing, why is he singing right now, and he says it gets him the bitches apparently. So Kurt Cobain's doing his thing, but to me, I didn't really care for it. It was kind of him trying to be like Drake. But there was like 1 track, I think it was like Hold Me Down, I believe is the name of the track. I could be wrong, but that's in heavy rotation on my iPod. Next we got Soulja Boy, Juice 2. This sucked, so we're gonna go on to the next thing. We got Gunplay, 601 in short, I believe, 601 in short. Gunplay is a member of Rick Ross's label, or I guess whatever you want to call it. Why can't I remember the name of his label right now? Maybach Music. Maybach Music, I don't know. Apparently, Gunplay got into an altercation at the BET Awards that was taped a couple days ago. I read about online. But other than that, I mean, I think there's a song on here called Bible on the Dash, I believe. That was a cool track. I dug that, but this was just an okay project. A lot of the mixtapes coming out of the Maybach group just all sound exactly the same right now. Like, none of them are different. None of them have a different sound. They just all sound the same, and it's just kind of blah. Loses steam in the rotation. Next we got Ransom, Winter's Coming. This had a lot of buzz online, a lot of on DatPiff, a lot of downloads, different things. It was okay. I mostly picked it up because Winter's Coming. It had like a Game of Thrones kind of feel to it, and it really had nothing to do with Game of Thrones. But it was just okay. Nothing really special. Some okay tracks, but it is what it is. Next we got Lil Kiki, The Leak. From what I hear, this is the mixtape getting ready. Just came out right before his album's supposed to come out. This was okay. It had that real like southern you know, down south type sound to it, that candy paint type kind of sound to it. I know a couple people who I introduced this to, and they liked a lot of the tracks on it because they're into that kind of lowrider type sound. But you know, other than that, I mean, it's just okay. Hopefully the album they do is a lot better. So who knows? Next we got Frenchello Anthony. I think this came out a while back. Not quite sure, I believe, but Frenchie is kind of like in that Waka Flocka group. There was like maybe 2 bangers on here I enjoyed. Other than that, it was just here and there, you know, okay, I guess. Next we got Homeboy Sandman, First of a Dying Breed. This was the actual first time I've heard any like Homeboy Sandman stuff. I know he's been coming out with mixtapes and albums over the last couple of years, and this is the first one I really got my hands on, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not feeling this guy's, you know, this style. I really didn't care for this that much. It kind of had a weird, not techno-y, but kind of just like experimental sound to it. Lyrically, he's pretty good, but I just found myself just not enjoying the majority of the songs on here. I just was kind of bored with it. So that's what it is there. Next we got Fashawn, Something About Cray. I was really a huge fan of Gucci Gucci when this song came out. I really dug the beat, really dug her flow on that, and I was like, well, she's gonna keep making songs like this, you know. I'm probably gonna dig a lot of the bangers she makes. This was okay. You know, there was a couple tracks from some mixtapes that she did that were thrown on here also, and it was kind of just, there wasn't as many songs that, you know, were new. It was just kind of, you know, her big coming out party. Gucci Gucci was on here. There was a song on here called Left Eye that was really cool. I liked it. It was a cool banger. But other than that, just it really didn't do anything for me. It didn't show up or do much of anything. See, next we got Nico Loud. I think it's how you spell it, Nico Loud Pack Michael 4. This was getting all kinds of buzz. I know this guy's getting ready to drop an album here pretty soon, and it's got quite a bit of buzz. So I thought I'd check out this mixtape. Did not care for this whatsoever. This kind of reminded me of like Space Ghost Perk type almost. It had real experimental sound. I just wasn't feeling it. It was just kind of just really bizarre, and it didn't really have any meaning. It didn't really do anything for me. So it's what it is there. Nico Loudpack Michael 4. Kind of blah. Next we got, and this one kind of hurts me here because of, you know, his earlier mixtape, but just this kind of was, I guess there's a reason why this is called the Rejects. Joy Badass's Rejects mixtape. It was kind of, I guess, some of the tracks that weren't supposed to make, or I guess weren't, you know, going to make it on the 1999 album or mixtape or whatever. Just seemed really slow. You know, lyrically, Joy Badass is pretty good. I enjoy him, but a lot of the tracks were slow, and I know several of the tracks on here he made when he was like 15. So, I mean, it is what it is. You can only hate so much. But, I mean, there was a couple of tracks on here that were okay. But, overall, just, I guess there's a reason, like I said, it was called the Rejects mixtape. So, alright, getting into the top 5 of the mixtapes here that you probably, mixtapes and albums you probably will not want. Well, at least in my opinion. We're going to get on here, Waka Flocka, Salute Me or Shoot Me for Band from America. You know, I've actually heard some pretty entertaining and good Waka Flocka mixtapes throughout the last couple of years. You know, and that's the reason I always keep downloading them. Same thing with Gucci. I'll end up maybe finding a song I like here, a song I like there, you know, this or that, blah, blah, blah. There was like maybe 2 songs on here. I liked the Randy Savage track. I liked Murda. I liked that track. I don't know. Overall, this was just kind of, it kind of fell short, even of the expectations of Waka Flocka, which are not very high. You know, I always look just towards just bangers, just bangers and you know, good just party type music. This, it had a couple on here, but you know, overall it was almost kind of a chore to sit through. So you know, it bleh, I guess you could say. Next we got JJ Doom, Key to the Cuffs. I wasn't feeling this really at all. Like, I know Dead End Hip Hop did a review of it, and I know, you know, a lot of people like, you know, MF Doom and this, you know, JJ, whatever his name is, you know, present producer. You know, I'm not on just MF Doom's nuts like a lot of people are. Like, I'm just not a huge fan of MF Doom. I don't really care for his rhyme style. Like, it just kind of is just, like, I guess they say it's like offbeat, on beat, kind of like, it's kind of like a really strange kind of rhyme style, and not a lot of people do it. there's a reason a lot of people do it, because it's just not that good. I don't really care for MF Doom's rhyme style. You know, as an overall project, I mean, to sit and listen to it from start to finish, it's, you know, it's an okay project. Like, I can listen to it from start to finish, but I can't just pick out one song and listen to it. It just didn't really care for it as much as some other people did, and I don't think it's one of those albums probably not gonna make it to like my top 30. It just didn't have staying power. It was just okay to me. Like I said, not a huge MF Doom fan. Sorry guys, but just can't jump on that bandwagon. Next we got here third. This one kind of hurts me to say this one, because the you know, Strange Music has been killing it all year. Mixtapes, albums, and such, a lot of good stuff. This, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling this, or wasn't, maybe it was just, I don't know, I didn't like it as much as his last EP, I guess you could say that, and that's Tech 9, Angel Brain, or Evil Brain, Angel Heart, EBAH EP. I don't know, the thing about Tech 9 is Tech 9 can rap any way he wants. You know, he can rap any way he wants. He can put the most bizarre rhyme patterns together, and usually a lot of his songs are just good. He just makes good songs, even if the rhyming is just kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it was, you know, the rhyming wasn't bad on this. It just, I didn't care for any of the songs on it. Like, you know, like, there's a difference in being a good rapper and having a good producer and making good songs. Like, that's why I kind of felt like with the J.J. Doom album. Like, you know, MF Doom can rap, and the producer, the JJ guy, he can produce. Like, you know, they both can. It's just, I just didn't like the songs. Like, the same thing, like JJ Doom and this Tech 9, you know, EP here, it just didn't work for me. I don't know what else to say. Hopefully get some more, you know, stuff from Tech 9 maybe before the end of the year. Maybe have more stuff out of the Strange Music camp, but, you know, who knows here. This was just okay, in my opinion. Number 2, at the end here, we're going to get to Lil Wayne's Dedication 4. It's really hard, you know. I said this in a Facebook status a while back, that you know, years past, I would be excited, and a lot of fans would be too, excited for any Lil Wayne type release. You know, dedications, I Am Not a Human, you know, his mixtapes, his albums, you know, the Carters, all that stuff. You know, everyone's excited. Oh, Lil Wayne's, you know, album's coming out in 2 days. Oh, you know, Lil Wayne's mixtape's coming out in a week. You know, I knew this was coming out, you know, 2 weeks before it did, and I didn't even download it the day it came out. Like, I didn't even go check it out. Like, I just wasn't that interested. And my hunch was true. It just wasn't that good. You know, it was just, you know, there wasn't anything special about it. You know, I don't know. It was just Lil Wayne. You know, it's Lil Wayne that we've come to know in the last, you know, year and a half or so, being just kind of blah. Like, it wasn't like, you know, it just wasn't good songs, really. It just, you know, Lil Wayne is a better lyricist than a lot of people nowadays give him credit for, but just him rapping over a lot of other people's beats, just like he normally does. But it just, a lot of times in his older mixtapes, him rapping over other people's beats, he did a better job than the actual people. This was just, it didn't really do it for me. There might have been like 2 tracks on here. You know, got in rotation on my iPod, but other than that, just no go. And then finally, we got Lupe Fiasco's, oh god, Food and Liquor, the Great American Hip Hop Album Part 2 or Part 1 or whatever the hell it is. Man, this was just not good. It was hard to sit through. It really was. You know, Lupe can rap. Lupe's got great content. But again, I'm going to go back to the same thing I was saying earlier. None of these songs are good. They're just not good songs. They're just you know, like, they don't come together. They don't mesh well. A lot of these songs blend together and it sounds like they're the same song. It just didn't work for me. I was just heavily disappointed. You know, with his mixtapes and the last albums and stuff he's done, you know, how he's going to that kind of, you know, experimental techno kind of sound, and a lot of people have been disappointed him going away from that sound that he used to do. Now it doesn't work. It's just not working for him. His fans are just really disappointed of what he's been putting together, and I wasn't feeling this at all. Like, and it was just, like I said, the lyrics are there. Production is not bad, and the content's always there. He has good content, but just songs weren't good. And they were just blended. They blended together, and it was almost annoying. To the point I was laying in my bed, just getting ready to pass out, and I would just listen to the whole album through. And I was, hoping, next song's gonna be a good one. Oh, nope, next song after that's gonna be a good one. It just nothing showed up in this. The only thing I do remember is I believe it was like a track where he was talking about, I think he was talking about like a kid getting molested or something. It was the content was good. Like I said, the content's always good with Lupe. He always has good content, but he just can't make songs just anymore. Just good songs. I don't know what it is. Just, I don't want to hate on Lupe because I do like a lot of his older stuff, but this kind of hurt me, Sorry, guys. So we're going to get on to the cops here, the good stuff for the month, and let me tell you, there is some great stuff coming out in September. Some very good stuff. After this month, my top 10 of albums of the year is just drastically just been flip-flopped around, and it's going to be interesting once we hit the end of December. We're going to see what's still got some staying power here. So first thing we're going to hit up here is Wax Taylor Dusty Rainbows from the Dark. This was an amazing project. Wax Taylor is a producer, and he, if you really dug the Kid Cudi album, the very first Kid Cudi album, The Man on the Moon, the first one, where he had Common, kind of narrating through this story, it was that he was kind of doing with the Kid Cudi album. He was rapping over his beats, but this was a lot of it was just production, just beats, really dreary beats. There was a couple of tracks, I want to say 50% of the tracks, probably, this is a pretty long album, 50% of the tracks had, either a rapper, MC or someone singing over. Yeah, this was really, really good stuff here. It's really interesting, and I guess the best thing you can really say about it is it's a good concept album. If you really dig the idea of a story built in with it, story, and then you got just beats, and then production, then you got some singing, and you got some rapping, then you got a guy narrating it through a story. It's really interesting. It's one of those things that you can't just pick out one song and listen through. You got to listen to it all the way through, and it tells like a beautiful story. So definitely check that out. Wax Taylor, Dusty Rainbows from the Dark. Next we got Twista with his Reloaded mixtape. I love Twista. Twista was one of my favorite rappers in the mid 2000s. I love the stuff he was coming out with, the stuff he did with Kanye and all the stuff he was doing. His album that came out. I can't remember off the top of my head now for some reason, but he's a huge fan of that, and this was great. Had some good bangers on it, and Twista just rapping, just going at it. And that's what I love about Twista on his mixtapes. He just goes out there and just shreds it. And I love how Twista raps. That's one of the major reasons I got this on here. Free mixtape. Go ahead and check it out. It's worth a check out. It's got some good stuff on it. Next we got Cam Meekins, and I'm not really quite sure how to say this, but it's NTRSPCNT. I'm guessing maybe it's, I don't know what the hell that even means. I don't know what it means, but it's a mixtape, and I think it's some stuff that he didn't put on his original mixtape, the Lamp City one, which it's still one of my favorite mixtapes of the year. This was good. It had some. It was real short. It was like, I want to say like 10 tracks, I believe. It just it had some good tracks, and they weren't amazing, but it was still free, and it was. I'm on just Cam Meekins junk right now because I really dug his first mixtape, and this right here was pretty good, and it wasn't as good as his first, but it definitely had some really entertaining tracks on it. Next we got Brother Ali's Mourning in America and Dreaming in Color. Same thing with MF Doom. I like Brother Ali. I like the way he rhymes. I love his production. It's got a real soulful sound to it. I liked this. I definitely thought it was better than the JJ Doom album, but I still don't think it was amazing. I think it was good. but I'm not a huge fan on, like, I'm not on his, you know, junk like a lot of other people are. But this was good. I'd possibly make it into my top 30 somewhere down the line, but it was good. I enjoyed it overall, and it just wasn't amazing to me like it was to some people. Next we got Alley Boy, The Gift of Discernment or Discernment. I don't really know how to say it. Yeah, this is a free mixtape. Just had a bunch of good bangers on it. You know, a bunch of good bangers. The good bangers outweighed the bad. I put it on here because of that. Free mixtape. Go check it out. Other than that, you know, you're not looking for anything great or an amazing album. Next, we got the Brown Bag AllStars Brown Label Part 2. This was cool. I like the way that this was put together. It had like 5 or 6 songs, and each, like, they had like 3 different producers, I believe, and like each producer like kind of did their own remix of the songs. Some of the versions were better than the others. This was really interesting. I really dug this, and definitely, I would say definitely check this out. Good stuff there, and like, there was a track on here called Rottweilers. I can't remember who the producer was. I know it was overdone like maybe twice on here. One of the produced tracks on here, I guess the title was called Rottweilers, was really, really good. I really enjoyed that with the production and the chorus and lyrics and everything. It was definitely one of the best songs I heard this month, I think. Next we got Ground Up, Supernatural. This got a lot of buzz on it. I mostly checked it out because it had a feature from Action Bronson on here. I'm not really quite sure who these guys are. I really didn't look up their names or anything. Just thought I would check it out. It's got a real boom bap 90s kind of sound to it, so I figured I would like it. The track with Action Bronson was good. There's a couple of good tracks on here. Overall, this was a pretty good mixtape. I was heavily surprised. Had a really, like I said, 90s kind of feel to it, and with a a new school kind of flair, but it was definitely good. I would definitely say check it out. It's a free mixtape. You can check that out on DatPiff. Next, we got Genghis Khan here, The Broken Love. I downloaded this and I listened to it while I was working out, and man, this is a really interesting album, and it's not so experimental to the point where you're like, man, that is just bizarre. I kind of dug it. It wasn't like, I don't know. It almost started out like it was gonna sound like a Vinnie Paz, like, Ill Bill kind of necro kind of content type thing where he's killing this and blah of that and blah of that. But it got really deep and personal at times, and it was really, really interesting, and it's definitely good. It's something I'm gonna go back and listen to more and see where it fits into a top 30 list. But it was definitely an interesting project, and I would say for people to check it out if you're really into like some really deep, almost dark kind of hip hop. You will definitely enjoy this. Next we got Murs and Fashawn, This Generation. This is great. Murs was one of my favorite guys from the underground, coming out of the Living Legends clique there, and Fashawn, I've heard quite a bit of his stuff over the last couple of years. It's interesting to put these two guys together and see what they would mesh together and make out of a project here. And this was pretty good. And it was not amazing, but it was interesting. These guys kind of came together, and I think it was over the course of the album, you've seen these guys kind of clicking better and better and better. You see tracks on the album where it seems like these guys do not come together and make sense at all, and then there's tracks that probably towards the end of making this album, they sounded like they fit perfectly in a group. But this was good. Murs and Fashawn, This Generation, definitely check that out. Next we got DMX, Undisputed. This was kind of not what I expected, but I kind of really liked it. I was expecting a really harsh DMX, like a real hard, going at it, DMX, real loud and screaming. This was deep and personal, and really a different sound than I expected out of DMX. There was tracks on here that I didn't like, but overall, you know, this was a good project from DMX, and it was real personal and a little bit more softer than I expected from him. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked it, and it definitely wasn't amazing, but it was definitely worth checking out. Next we got Blue and Exile, Give Me My Flowers While I Can Still Smell Them. Long title. You know, Below the Heavens from Blue and Exile is one of the most, you know, critically acclaimed albums. I am not on Blue and Exile's dick like a lot of other people are. This was just, you know, good, but I didn't think it was amazing. I thought it was good. Really can't give you more than that. Big Sean, Detroit mixtape here. I dig Big Sean. I like Big Sean coming out of the good music camp, dude. I dig his rhyme style. Just a gritty kind of, you know, Big Sean style kind of mixtape. You know, it wasn't anything great, but it was definitely a good free download. I'd say that. Next we got Talib, Kweli, and Z-Trip Attack the Block. A little bit of a different sound coming from Talib Kweli. I've noticed over the last year or so, Talib Kweli's been really jumping more into that mainstream sound. You know, doing tracks with, you know, some bigger name guys, some Rick Rosses, and you know, some guys like that. And I definitely enjoyed this. There were some tracks on here I really liked, and there were some tracks on here I didn't care for at all. There was a track called The Corner, which was a kind of a remixed version of REM's Losing My Religion. Really dug that track. It was pretty cool, and definitely, if you check it out for anything, that track right there is pretty good there. Next we got Flobots, The Circle in the Square. These guys did a great job here with this, and it wasn't amazing to me, but I love the content. I love how they're not scared to say things that, you know, other artists out there are, you know, they won't say, and it almost kind of had almost at times kind of a Sublime, like 311 kind of sound. If anybody's heard this, if you like Sublime and you like 311, you may like several tracks on this album here. Wasn't, you know, one of my favorites from the month, but it was definitely good, and I think these guys did a good job here. Getting away from that, I like to ride my bike with no handlebars, which is the biggest thing that these guys are known for. So, you know, okay project there. I guess they probably say a little better than okay. I say a good project from Flobots here. Next we got Ruste, Juxx, and Arcitype. Vic, or I guess anagrammed for victorious individual champion. I don't know what the hell it stands for. Just Vic. We'll just go with Vic. Ruste Juxx, man, is turned into one of my favorite MCs this year. Love the hard-bodied hip-hop album. This is good here too. Not as huge as a fan as of Arcitype's production as I am of Kaio Itachi's production, but this was still good. There were some good tracks on here. This may fall in line somewhere in my top 30, somewhere down the line this year, but overall this was a good project. And Ruste Juxx, man, doing his thing in 2012, killing it, man. Just for the 90s hip-hop fans who love that just hard, just gritty rhyme style, you'll definitely dig this. Next thing we got here, I had been bamboozled and bought me just by people like on Twitter, people on, you know, Facebook, even on YouTube, people asking me to check out this next guy's mixtape or EP or whatever this is, you know, Stan Smith's Second at Race America. Several people had asked me to check this out. Man, you gotta check this out. You gotta check this out, man. This guy's great. Yada this, yada that. This is a really good project here from a guy who not too many people know about. Stan Smith here, Second at Race America. You know, it's interesting. This guy plays a harmonica also. He's a good lyricist. He produced all his tracks here. Short little mixtape album thing here. It's like 10 tracks or so. It's good. I dug it. I really did. And you know, I don't know where this falls in line in my top list of the year, but Something I'm going to listen to over and over and over again, and definitely see where this fits into. But it's interesting. It's you know, when people talk about people creating their own lane, this guy's definitely in an interesting lane. It's almost like this guy's in an early Lupe Fiasco kind of stage. Like, he's really doing his own thing and doing what he wants. And he, like I said, he plays harmonica and puts some harmonica, you know, sounds in this. And the production was all made by him. The lyrics are good. He does a good job here, and it's definitely good for a project, you know, he pretty much did on his own. So I'd definitely check this out. Stann Smith here. Good surprise, I guess you could say. And you can, people out there can stop asking me to check it out, because I had several people, I want to say at least 5 or 6 people out there asking me, you gotta hear this, you gotta hear this. So definitely good project there. Next we got Good Music, Cruel Summer. I really dug this. You know, anything that Kanye West puts his hand in right now is just gold. Just gold. Production wise, you know, Kanye's doing, you know, with all the people on his label and everything, just the most simplistic just songs, and but they sound so just badass. Like, it's really hard to explain. Several of the tracks on here were fantastic. You know, when I look for a overall label album, I know, you know, Young Money's done this and Maybach Music's done this, and they've been okay, but this has been fantastic. This is really good here, and I enjoyed it. Just good music. Cruel Summer. Click is my shit right now. That song is just major rotation on my iPod, just all over the place. I definitely dig that. Definitely check out the Good Music compilation, Cruel Summer. Good stuff there. Next we got a pretty nice surprise, and that's Freddie Gibbs, Babyface Killa. I've always liked Freddie Gibbs. I wasn't always a huge fan. You know, I liked a couple of his tracks. A lot of people talked about how Freddie Gibbs kind of reminded them of Tupac, and I can definitely see that in some sense, with some of the tracks on here. Some really deep, thought-provoking style tracks, but it's also got your entertaining kind of, you know, party tracks on here also. He's a good combination of deep thought and, you know, party style, you know, bangers. And there were some entertaining tracks on here, and I was just, when I listened to this for the day I got this, I listened to this all day. I probably listened to this like 6 times in a row. Like, there was like 8 tracks on here. I was digging hard. Definitely good here. I definitely dug that. Freddie Gibbs, Babyface Killa. Good mixtape here. It's free. I would highly recommend downloading that. On Dat Piff has it, I believe. So check that out. That shit is fantastic. So next we got Chino XL, RICANstruction, the Black Rosary. I believe, yeah. This is good. This is really good. The only thing that hurts this is that it's a double disc. It's one of the first album of this is 20 tracks, the second is 15. I think if they would have narrowed this down to like 18 tracks, maybe even 16, this could be the album of the year. Like, Chino XL murdered some tracks on here. Made some. You know, the thing that a lot of people, and myself also, you get stuck in that underground sound where a lot of your tracks blend together, and they kind of, you know, get lost in the shuffle. But in this, you had those underground tracks, you had, you know, almost a mainstream type sound, you know, songs. You had just some straight lyrical, you know, songs. You had freestyles where he just went off for like, you know, 2 minutes and just fucking went out there and killed it. You had several tracks on here produced by Apollo Brown. Like, you know, I was digging this heavy. This was awesome. This was definitely a great project from Chino XL. Like I said, this could possibly make it to my top 10. The only thing that's hurting it really is it being a double album, 20 on the first track and 15 on the second one. It's just too many tracks to sit through to get to the good ones. But there is like 16 songs that out of the, you know, 35 tracks that I would just put on just a flat out album, and it would probably be, you know, 1, 2, or 3 on my list this year, hands down. But since it's so many tracks and it's so hard to, you know, some of the stuff to sit through because it's so long, you know, it's definitely hard to say. But punchline for punchline, Chino Exile, some of the best punchlines I've heard all year. Some of the best punchlines I've heard since stuff I've heard from Childish Gambino, who's I was considering one of the best punchline rappers in the world. Chino Exile comes in here hard and just kicks the shit out of this, and some great stuff on here. If you can cipher through 35 tracks and pick out, you know, your top 15 or top, you know, 10, you'll be very happy with some of the stuff on here. So that's Chino Exile right there. Number 2, Stu, Bangas, and Vanderslice, Diggaz with Attitude. This was fantastic. I loved this. This was great stuff. Most of you know, have been following my shit for a while. My style of hip-hop is that gritty, boom bap 90s sound. And a lot of people sometimes feel that you have to, you know, have a meaning to what you're rapping about. You can't just rap and just make a dope song. Bullshit. A lot of these tracks on here had no meaning. They didn't do anything for me whatsoever, content-wise. They were just dope tracks. Great production, great lyrics, just flat out fantastic. Check that out. Stu, Bangas, and Vanderslice, Diggaz with Attitude. If I had 3 thumbs, I'd give that 3 thumbs up. Definitely a contender for my top 10. Next, and the number 1 album of September. Man, was I hyped for this, and it did not disappoint. Pacewon and Mr.Green, the only color, or there's the only color that matters is green, is their first one. The only number that matters is 1, and this is the second album from these two. Their first album they came out with was the only color that matters is green. A couple years back, I heard this album last year. This Pacewon and Mr.Green album, fantastic. One of the most underrated hip hop albums ever, in my opinion. If you haven't heard it, it is outstanding. Every track is just fantastic. So coming into this, I was expecting big things, and this did not disappoint. I can't say it's as good as the first one, but I can say it's damn well close. This was outstanding. Pacewon, Murs, you know, these tracks, some of the most, and when I talk about good songs, you know, you have great production here from Mr. Green, Pacewon, great lyrics, you know, great choruses, and just good songs, lyrics. It's a perfect combination. These guys are a perfect combination. It's a sad shame that not as many people know about these guys and hear these albums. This is gonna be a damn hard, you know, fit in my top 5, and it could even climb up higher. This is probably the most listened to album I've heard, like all of September, probably August. September. I kind of downloaded this at the end of August. It kind of leaked out, but you know, over the last month and a half, nothing has been listened to, in my opinion, and to me, more than this. Every track on here was great. There was tracks that I liked more, but right here, Pacewon, Mr. Green, the only color that matters is green is the first one. I don't know why I keep saying that. The only number that matters is 1, is the name of the album. Go pick this shit up. I would pay for this if I had the money, which sounds bad, but this is top notch. Get your hands on this anywhere. Just listen to it. It's fantastic. So, oh goodness, ladies and gentlemen, rolling in on 40 minutes here. Let me take a swaller. If you sat through this long and listened to most of this, you are a true fan of hip-hop and my videos. Thank you very much. Like I said, hopefully none of these videos continue to go this long. I'm going to let it get to the 40-minute mark here and get out of here. But, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I am the mad scientist of everything hip-hop and wrestling. I got a really interesting wrestling video I'm going to do here, if you follow those, you know, about basically WWE's looking for their next top star, and I give you guys some options on who I think could be the next star in the WWE. So, yep, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm the Mad Scientist. Deuces.